Hi and welcome to my channel. This is the month ahead, or the rest of the month at least, for the rising sign of Virgo. It may spill into the first half of September as well. I don't know yet until we see the cards. I'll just quickly say as well that the other video that I do that isn't the cards, that I show the charts, well, it should be, by the time you see this, it will definitely be up. And the link to that is in the description box. And that video, as I said, it shows the charts. And I pick out specific dates with the astrology and talk about how it might play out and how we can work with those energies. And I've got that all the way up until the end of the month. So it's still, depending on when you see this, unless you see it at the last day of the month, I guess. But yeah, it dovetails with it, with the card readings as well for each rising sign. It's an overall look at the energies that we'll be working with astrologically in general through the month. And like I said, I pick out specific dates of certain aspects that are going on. I think I've been talking in circles, so let's just jump in and see what cards came through for you, Virgos. It doesn't look like there's a lot of cards, so this might actually be a quicker reading, but I've said that before and it's turned out long, so I don't know. Let's have a look. First house, Virgo rising. I think I just also said links in the description for that other video. It's worth taking a look at. As I said, I talk about how the energies might play out for us in the real world, kind of thing. Yeah, sixth house. Well, that's the Virgo house, but obviously not in Virgo for you. It is in Aquarius. So we've got your rising sign, and then we've got Aquarius. Friendships, groups, social circles, health, duty, service to others. Let's see what else is coming through. Okay, so now we've got waning crescent. So this is the 3-day window that it's going to come up before the new moon. So this is the balsamic phase. So we're talking about some measure of healing in a way, healing something, healing energy of something, nurturance, healing. The date for the new moon over here will be the 23rd. I think in some places it'll be the 22nd. So pull back from there would be what, the 18th? 19th till the 23rd, I guess you could say, that time frame. So depending on when you're watching that, either keep an open mind to that time, or look back on what might have come through for you, what information you got from what was happening around that time. As I said, I don't know when you guys will watch this, at what time of the month. Aries in the 8th. So now we've got the 10th. Taking action with shared resources, which then we've got the 10th, so it's probably something to do with career, because you've got the 6th and the 10th. So yeah, some sort of career and how you're viewed in the world. Taking action or being impulsive with shared resources in some way, which doesn't necessarily mean money. It can be digital resources. It can be time. It can be certain products, or digital products, or physical products. Resources can cover a multitude of things. And Gemini's in your 10th, so that's like what you do with your career would involve a lot of communication in some way, and or it may have to do with sharing, as we were saying, shared resources, with perhaps family or local groups, neighbours, um, cousins, siblings. Aquarius. And the new moon will be in Sidereal Leo. Now we've got Aquarius, which is in the 6th again. So we're talking about this group dynamic kind of thing, because we've got Gemini and Aquarius, which are both indicative of certain group dynamics. But group with the Aquarius sign is somewhat, I guess, larger, whereas the Gemini is more localized. Vesta, home and hearth. The hearth of the matter, which again doesn't necessarily mean a negative thing, because this isn't full moon energy. Well, technically it is, because it's the final tendrils until you get to the new moon. But this is the healing phase. This is a very gentle energy. That's what I'm getting. Hygeia, okay. Well, there's 2 asteroids here. Hygeia, as the name suggests, health hygiene, but not necessarily based on physical hygiene. It could be the emotional hygiene. It could be spiritual hygiene. And for the, Neptune. Okay. Dreaminess. Art, beauty, the Piscean themes. Neptune's the ruling planet of Pisces and 12th house themes. What I'm getting here is either you already do have some sort of business going that in some form clears, it's sort of perhaps I want to say clears viewpoints. What do you mean by that? Clears the fog. You know how Neptune can be nebulous and, foggy and unclear. We will be in the post-shadow phase too, from the 10th, of Mercury retrograde. And the new moon, I think I already said, is going to be in Sidereal Leo. Something about nurturance with a healthy view. Like this isn't giving me something needs to be cleaned up. It's something that you're offering that maybe it's information on clean eating, for instance, that you're able to provide something in some way that clarifies things and, clears the fog, because sometimes it might just be information that's needed to give people a clearer perspective, a clearer understanding of something. And if this is resonating for you, Virgo risers, then this is sort of saying to look into that, because starting it around here, or at least looking into, getting the building blocks together of this idea, this service, product, whatever that you think along those lines is going to help in some way, that it's nurturing. It could be some sort of naturopathic medicines as well, I guess. It could be looking into something like that, or some sort of Reiki or physical massage, physical therapy, things like that. It could be as well. There's certain forms of massage that can clear the what is it? not veins, what is it? The lymph glands and that sort of thing. I think there's certain forms of massage that can do that too, and maybe that's something you might be looking into. And maybe there may be a group of you, group, whether local or extended, that can come together. Like maybe it may be a business where you can have a certain number of people either working for you or with you, like, the group, as in the locality of it within those of you who are working, and then the more extended, where you're extending yourself to the wider communities, opening your business and partnerships, because this is shared resources, remember, with the 8th house. So you might be considering going into business with at least one other person or a couple of others. Obviously do your research and everything, and be sure that you are able to trust who you're working with or starting this business up with, because it's if especially if you haven't already got this established, you want to make absolutely sure that who you're connecting with, that they've got a good track record, and that you can actually trust them, that they're not just someone jumping in and going, hey, trust me, kind of, because I'm getting good energy from this. I'm getting that if this is something that you're wanting to start up, that it's actually going to do quite well, because there's a whole lot of healing energy here and clearing the way, and looking into cleaner ways to, I'm just getting things like, say, the massage to clear, keeps coming back to lymph nodes. I don't know why. Lymph glands, but just through the way I'm not a massage therapist, obviously, so I'm not really exactly knowing what I'm in that sense talking about, but I'm just getting what's coming to me. And maybe it might have something to do with helping people with veins in their legs or whatever, for instance, just the chakra system, yes, but the really, it keeps coming back to like veins and lymph nodes and that sort of thing, though. I don't know why. Hopefully this resonates with someone, but the idea that, the whole body is, everything's connected in some way, and just being able to maneuver things gently through massage can really, be very helpful for people, done right, if it's done the right way. And this is, again, if you're looking at something like that, you want to make sure that who you're getting is professional and trustworthy, that you're working with, that you're connecting with, partnering with, that sort of thing. And let's see what else is coming through. Chiron, healing again. And look, this is your healing power, empathy, and ability to teach or learn remedies. Finding ways to remedy ailments and situations, Alternative medicine. I mean, it's not saying completely look away from general practitioners and all that sort of thing. I'm not saying that, but this can, alternative therapies as well have their place as well, in my view. Taurus. The energy around you shows the abundance of nature. It is rich, earthy and productive, yet relaxed and slow, taking it easy, which gives me the relaxation of, certain remedies coming into it, and massage. That's just an idea. It's sort of to give you some sort of, maybe you get a light bulb moment with something I'm saying here and go, oh, I think it's about X, Y, Z. And that's where it would resonate for you. 12th house. Okay, so now we've got the Pisces house, which is in Leo. This is the area of your life that is overwhelming. You yield to a greater cause or power. Okay, so Taurus can be about the physical body. It can be about money. It's in the 9th house, so there's that expansion and growth, right? And then you've got the 12th house being the Pisces house. That's covered by the sign of Leo, which incidentally is the sidereal new moon sign when the new moon comes up, which ironically, time frame, 3 days right before. So depending on when you see this, and hopefully I won't be uploading this too late, but well, not too late, but too late in the month. Like, it will still not be too late, because it'll still, you would have had some sort of ideas come through if you happen to watch this after that time. You would have had, you can look back and go, hang on a minute, this sort of cropped up and I was thinking about this at that time. And then you can go, well, now you're in the new moon phase and you can do something about it. Because I think this is what's going on here. 12th house, using your intuition, art, beauty. There could be some sort of, like, you might be setting up a physical office of some sort and looking into making it look presentable, artistic, certain pieces of art or whatever that doesn't have to be expensive. It just has to look a certain way to what you want it to look like, kind of thing, to have the right setting. And this is also like connecting with your client, to be able to intuitively know what their physical body might need, whether it's a remedy, whether it's a physical, like massage or something like that that's needed. Might even be some sort of retreat that you might be starting to look into setting in motion. That's another option, I guess. I mean, new moon's coming up. It's an option that you might want to consider. 4th house, your home and the roots of your being. Okay, 4th is in Sag. And Taurus is in the 9th. So we've got the Sag sign and then the Sag house. So there's this expansion and growth. And with Pisces and 12th house themes anyway, Jupiter is a co-ruler along with Neptune of Pisces themes. And Jupiter's the ruling planet also of Sag. Sag house, Sag sign. So there's this opportunity for expansion. And I think, because I did mention how Mercury will be in post shadow for really the remainder of August from the 10th. So when he's in post shadow, that's the time to consider what information has come up, for us to take a look at. Mercury brings in opportunities. Whether we're wanting those opportunities is up to us. We don't have to agree to anything. We don't have to sign up anything. But Mercury shows us what's available to us and what our options are if we open our eyes and take a look. And I think at this point as well, because he will well and truly be in post-shadow, this time frame, you probably might suddenly have some ideas. Your intuition might start hitting off about some ideas of what this might become or how you can start to move towards making it happen. and who might be good candidates to work with, if that's the case, or where you might be sharing your talents, skills, abilities, products, services. What else? 11th house. Now we've got the Aquarian house. Now that's in Cancer. So we've got the Cancer house and now we've got the Cancer sign. The edge, taking it to the edge. I'm getting a lot of earthy. I mean, Aquarius is air, right? The Aquarius sign is air and Cancer is water, but I'm getting a lot of earthiness and groundedness and stability and comfort. I'm also getting, this isn't honeycomb, but I'm getting honeycomb, like bees, you know, worker bees all working together, which is giving me the 8th house shared resources again. I'm going to see if I can squeeze in another card here because there's a bit of a gap. What's this? Moon feelings. How you feel about it? Is it a bit of a daunting idea that you... The moon's the ruling planet of Cancer and the Cancerian house themes. You know, I'm getting more with that, even though it says feelings, perhaps including including your feelings, like because I think this idea is probably very important to you, and so because I'm speaking for myself because as well with this, because I've got a lot of Virgo in my chart, but Virgos aren't always excessively emotional. We're sort of very matter of fact kind of thing, and I think this is where this is saying, I don't have Virgo rising, but I do have a lot of Virgo placements. But yeah, I think this is saying to be open to being more, getting in your feelings in a comfortable way, and perhaps allowing yourself to, I was going to say emote, but not, what do you want me to say, Spirit? Putting your heart into it is what I want to say. Putting because this is also getting to the heart, the half of the matter. And straight away when I got that, I didn't get anything negative from it. It wasn't about trying to clear something up, even though we did get Hygeia right next to Vesta. But it's, I think it's, because this is another thing with, I'll just say us Virgos, let's put it that way. It's another thing with us Virgos about that we can kind of come across quite blunt. I am aware that I do seem like that, which is probably why my channel isn't big. But anyway, I digress. But yeah, so sort of to try and step into being a little bit more, I don't think considerate is so much the word, but just sort of allowing yourself to feel like, you know, with the Cancerian sign is very, very in their emotions, you know, and they can sometimes be a little overwhelmed with their emotions. So it's a matter of sort of finding that balance. So it's not that it's asking you to be overwhelmed with emotion and all that sort of thing, but to to put heart into it, instead of just being just all mind and logic, like we're Mercury ruled, right? So we're thinking, but putting the heart in with the head, sort of balancing that out. Hopefully that's making sense. But yeah, so that you can be a little bit more personable by holding space perhaps for some people without actually having anyone trauma bond with you or anything like that. Not like that, but just showing enough care and concern, sort of not going, okay, I'm going to do this and this and now your job, now it's done, sort of thing. I wouldn't expect that you'd be like that, but yeah, showing how, yeah, asking the person how they're going or how or whatever, you know, sort of thing. Being more personable, I want to say, so that you're not just, okay, we're getting the job done, 30 minutes here, bang, 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 and see you later kind of thing, but just really making the person feel at home, because this is Cancerian home, you know, creature comforts sort of thing. And this might also play into what I was saying earlier about having art, you know, of some sort, you know, making things look a certain way so it's more inviting and homely feeling, you know, for your clients and customers. North Node, destiny, yeah. Follow your destiny. Aquarius, the innovator. Okay, so there's a lot of Aquarius. So there's a lot of connecting with wider groups of people. Maybe this is about also, because with Gemini and Aquarius, they're also a lot to do with the internet. And this might be about advertising your business over the internet, and opening it up in that way somehow. You might have some sort of, wow, franchises in different areas even. That might be something that can start maneuvering as well. You might have to sort of, what's it called? Is it called vet or something? Certain different people in order to see if they're, you know, a viable candidate to be working with you in the business, you know, even if they're in a different area, that you're offering your services to different areas so different areas can be covered. Leo, the lover. Again, this is giving me the energy of being a little open and personable and kind of showing that you care, because sometimes it's not that you don't care, because remember I said I've got a lot of Virgo in my chart as well, but we can come across like we don't care even though we care a lot, you know. So I think this is also about trying to be a little bit more gentle instead of, you know, sharp with our approach. Okay, these may or may not have reversals. We'll walk through. Imam Kohli in reverse root. Feeling uprooted. Yeah, see also, because this is the Imam Kohli, if you don't already know, when we get our charts, most places that you'll get your chart done will actually, at the top of it, I don't know if you can see because I'm reaching over and everything, but at the top of the chart you'll see these letters MC, and it'll cover the area. It'll be on or near the 9th or 10th houses. And so what that is the midheaven, all right, and that covers the career. Smack bang opposite, somewhere around the 3rd or 4th house, will be the IC, Imam Kohli. And that is your home life. So your work life, your home life, your ascendant, your descendant. And I think this is in reverse because this is bringing up that point of making an effort to be more homely and be aware if you do happen to be a bit sharp sometimes, sort of to try and soften those edges kind of thing, because that's in reverse. Venus, beloved. This is also giving me the fact that the retrograde energies are still running, and we're in post shadow, so this is something to look into about working with this energy, working through this if this is an issue, of how you come across to try and sort of go, okay, yeah, maybe I do seem a little sharp at times, and how can I be a little bit more open without being vulnerable, be more open to nurturing, because nurturing isn't just about physical. If we're talking about, say, the physical massage, for instance, yes, that's nurturing, but I mean, if someone's getting a massage and the person giving it doesn't want to talk to them, and it's just like, we're just going to get this done, and you're not going to be like that. But if I'm just giving an example, if you were to go to someone like that, you wouldn't want to go back there again, because you just would feel tense at the fact that they're not being verbally and emotionally nurturing in that sense to get you to be in the environment that feels comfortable and homely. So the way we present ourselves, I guess, because that's something I have to work on too. So I'm not pointing the finger at you, because remember, we've got a thumb and three fingers when we're pointing at someone else. So, but yeah, I think that's going to be the focus, because I think this is more about the retrograde energies, in that by the time you see this, most likely we're going to be in the post-shadow phase, which actually Mercury retrograde did move into the Cancerian sign, and that's probably where we're getting all the Cancer energy as well, reiterating the idea of working on being a little bit more approachable, being a little bit more personable, in that sense, because it's a trait we always have to work around, sort of being direct and to the point. That's good and all, but sometimes people want that little emotional side as well, and that'll take you far as well. And these two can then turn around, because you'll feel rooted and connected, and so will your clients, and both them and you will feel beloved, and you will feel, you will consider those feelings for your business. You will love your business, because you'll see it growing, because it's you're nurturing. You're doing your part to nurture and make things the best you can, so that you're offering yourself as more personal to your potential clients, and so they'll want to come back, Okay, so I've got a couple of messages from the universe about abundance for you. It says, today you are a magnet for infinite abundance, divine intelligence, and unlimited love. See, actually, this has always been true. Rock on, the universe. Next, sometimes, that bit of agape love is what's needed to be included or infused within your business setting. When it is something like that, some sort of remedial kind of business. If more people knew how admired they already are, they'd be even more admirable. Same for knowing how cool, fun, healthy, wealthy, and wise they already are, and zippy in admiration, the universe. Now, this has just given me the idea as well, and zippy, showing a different side of you, because again, Virgo can come across as sharp and sometimes boring when we don't want to be, or we don't want to be seen that way. And I think that if you do have a bit of an edgy side, going to the edge with Aquarius and Leo, and getting that bit of Uranus energy coming through and making showing a bit more personality, as well, might be something to consider, and not being afraid to be yourself. Not expecting yourself to be a certain way, and very Saturnian. I mean, we have 10th house, but we don't have Capricorn or Saturn in this reading, so it's not, you know what I mean? So I think it's kind of saying lighten up a bit, and if you do have sharp edges, try and smooth those over a little bit, and work on showing a bit of a fun personality, and because we tend to hold back sometimes when we do have our quirky side, which I think in this instance people are going to like it, and it's going to want them to come back, because they're going to see the real authentic you, and then you're going to love your work, because it's really going to be rewarding for your clients and yourself. Okay, so guardian angels want to say action. Drop all fear and just do it. Exactly. You have the power to create and be whatever you truly want. Look inside your heart and take positive action in those things that bring you closer to achieving your desired goals. Positive action to smooth the edges and show your quirky self, I want to say. Nothing can stop you except your own fears. This card is positive confirmation from God and the angels that the time is right for you to start a new and exciting venture. What did we say? Bam. And then this one, positive outcome. At this very moment, you are sowing the seeds of your future through your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and attitudes, whether through love, fear, or indifference, which we can come across as Virgos, indifferent when we don't mean to be. You are always creating something. So remember to keep your thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes positive, and you will create a positive outcome. Bam. There you go. I think that I don't need to say any more. I think that we've got the picture here, and I really hope for you guys that it has resonated, and that you can work out what it might be. If this is seen before this time frame, then keep an eye out for when this time frame comes in, which, what did I say? I think I said from the 19th to the 23rd, around about that 3-day window. But yeah, you will have ideas you will be given ideas on how to move forward. Your intuition is going to say, like, you'll pick up on things about how you can move forward. And like I said, with Mercury being in post shadow, it's a perfect time to mull over these ideas. It's not saying scream forward ahead. It is saying take action to look into what's available. This is the time to do that now. You've been given some sort of information already, and this time frame will then give you some further information on what sort of process or what sort of things might be needing to not adhered to, what's the word for it, be things you might need, like in order to move things into place, sort of thing, like whether it's a website or whether it's some sort of product, or it might be some sort of thing like one of those massage beds, for instance. You might have to invest in something like that, and this time frame might actually show you, you know, point you to an area where there might be some that are, you know, on sale or something like that, that are a better price or something like that, for instance, you know, sort of information like that, so that then you can build things together before you then jump in and start the thing up once the post-shadow retrograde energy is gone, you know, in September. So, yeah. Okay, I think hopefully I've made sense. I've just sort of tried to give you a bit of an idea of what might happen in those, you know, or what ideas would help you to move things forward, or give you some sort of idea of how things might be able to move forward, and whether or not you want to go that way or whatever, you know, giving you options. That's the whole point that Mercury does retrograde, you know, to give us an idea of what's available to us, whether we choose to go with it or not. You know, we open our eyes to it, whether that's our physical eyes or our intuition eyes, you know, to what sort of things are available to us, and whether we sort of want to go for something or throw that away and look at that, or, you know, whatever. That's our choice. But Mercury says, well, here, what do you want to do with that, kind of thing. And this energy, like I said, is going to be more about giving you an insight into how you can then move forward with the ideas you have, and which way you want to go with it, and how you might, you know, which sort of avenue you want to look at to try and get things to move forward. So this is a time of getting a lot of information together and mulling over what you want, where you want to take your action and where you want to go forward, kind of thing, with this. Hopefully this is all making sense. But yeah, I think I'm talking in circles now, so I think I'm going to leave it there and wish you guys all the best of luck with this adventure, whether it's brand new or whether it's branching out with what you already have. But it's really good energy, so don't be afraid, and be open to what your intuition and your spirit team are guiding you to, God, or whatever belief system you have. You know, be open to those insights and messages that are going to come through. Yeah. With that, I'm going to leave it there and wish you guys all the best of luck for August, and perhaps moving into September with this as well. Yeah. And until next time, bye for now.